comments of any member of the public are normally restricted to a total of 3 minutes in length per person for matters not on the agenda, and a total of 3 minutes per person in length for any and all items on the matters at hand. The chairperson may extend this time limit for a reasonable time where a disability accommodation has been requested. So do we have any public comment? George?
Mr. Chairman, just a point of clarification. Did we already have public comment? Did I get up and speak on public comment or another matter? Already. I don't want to waste your time coming up twice, but how did we?
Yeah.
It's, I mean, just for the sake of clarity, the initial public comment that happened was during the chair and vice chair item.
I see.
Not the general public comment item earlier.
Okay. Well, I apologize because I would have saved a lot of those thoughts for public comment. So I was a little out of order to bring up those extra things. But now that I have the opportunity, I wanted to comment. Commissioner Richardson said something very interesting, which I've been kind of thinking about. He said, you know, when I was asked to serve or at least apply for this position, someone at City Hall, you know, asked me if I had an agenda, right? And I thought about that, and I thought, boy, you know, that tells you everything you kind of need to know about Cotati City Hall, because they don't do that in other towns, okay? They don't ask you what your agenda is. You volunteer, you're a good citizen, left, center, right, you don't ask people what their agendas are. Totally out of order. So I want, you know, that bothers me. This kind of clickism in here. They want to know what you're about before they offer an appointment to you. Anyway, that aside, I want to tell you a little bit about a program that you may not know about in the county. It's called CERT, and it's Community Emergency Response Team. You can go online and learn more about it, but the County of Sonoma put together this program, which was fantastic. It was about training citizens for search and rescue, fire suppression, triage, first aid, and the county, with all these different departments and agencies, took volunteers through 8 Saturdays course to prepare us to assist the police department, the fire department in times of crisis. There was testing and so forth. I think the program lost funding over time, state funding, but it was a very, very good program to help our neighbors, because we were taught when the big one comes, the fire department ain't coming for you. The first 48 hours, their job is to patrol, assess the damage in Sonoma County, get that information to the state so they can decide where to deploy resources. But you could be yelling and screaming, and they're not stopping. They're not stopping for your fire. They're not stopping when you're bleeding in the street. And we learned that. It was a really humbling experience to learn this and how important this program was. So I want to explain to you, or at least put a bee in your bonnet, to think about how important that could be for all of us in our neighborhoods to reinstitute this program. I've been to the fire department. They're going to put it on a future agenda too. Now that they got a lot of tax money came in, we're going to try to do that so that people in the neighborhoods will be ready to help, okay? The other thing about the Brown Act is, it's been 20 years since the city of Cotati put on a Brown Act seminar. They invited all the city employees and police officers and citizens to attend this workshop. The Brown Act in California is a big deal. It ties your hands in a lot of ways, and it helps the community, and it helps you as well. You don't want to get charged with a Brown Act violation by the district attorney or by the state attorney general. And I think there's some resources online and on YouTube, but I would highly urge to put on the agenda, if you can ask the city council and city staff, if we can bring back a Brown Act seminar to these chambers. It's invaluable, and it keep you out of trouble too, because a lot of these mistakes are innocent that politicians and the commissioners make. In the time left, in 2015, the police chief Parrish threatened to arrest me if I was recording him on my cell phone. It was illegal. I asked for an apology. He didn't apologize. We ended up in federal court, and it really embarrassed the city. So there's a lot to be done here. Thank you.
Thank you. Would anybody else like to take this opportunity for public comment on Zoom?
Thank you, Chair Jarrett. Speaking to our Zoom attendees, once again, please use the raise hand